because I went through that Fraser Institute study, and it shows the fall of Ontario. And don't pin this all on the Liberals, as I say in this. It said Ontario went from Canada's economic engine to the broke cousin sleeping on the couch. Thanks, Liberals. In 2000, Ontarians earned 5% more than the average Canadian. Now they make 3.2% less. How do you screw up that badly? Auntie Sheila is going to show you. The Fraser Institute just broke it down in black and white. Ontario's economy is broken, and it didn't happen by accident. In the study, it lays out 2 decades of green energy pipe dreams, sky-high taxes, red tape strangling business, and resource development tossed in the trash. And now Alberta and Saskatchewan are picking up the slack while Ontario re-elects the same tax and spend maniacs who caused the mess. And don't just blame the Liberals. Doug Ford is part of the problem now.
Oh,
he's Ontario's so-called conservative premier is holding hands with the Trudeau-Carney Liberals on net zero, carbon taxes, clean energy scams, and endless handouts for woke mega projects like green cars. So Doug Ford is doing what Liberal premiers used to do, just with a blue tie. And that's why the province is circling the drain while pretending to be open for business. Ontario isn't just broke. It's a federally funded cautionary tale, one that Alberta doesn't want to be a part of. And then I just tie it all back to Alberta, like I do with everything. But it goes directly to just green energy and wokeness plus overspending. And Doug Ford is right in lockstep with every other premier before him.
And Sheila, what you're saying, that's not merely conjecture. I'll give you an example. And I was stunned to hear in the February provincial election here in Ontario, Premier Ford making the promise to develop the Ring of Fire. That's this incredible mineral treasure chest in Northern Ontario. I had to pinch myself because that was a 2018 promise. 7 years later, he's just forget about developing the Ring of Fire. I understand there's not even the infrastructure in terms of adequate roads to get to the Ring of Fire. Why does he just promise this and not do anything? And that, Sheila, is a potential multi-trillion-dollar endeavor for Ontario. So why aren't we doing it? Why does he just talk about it instead of getting shovels in the ground?
Well, because these mineral mega projects have to go through the federal GBA plus, and he's about to get the oil and gas treatment. He's about to discover how hard it is to get things done with his good buddy Liberals in charge in Ottawa. When you have to ask the local feminist how the major mine in the region is going to make her feel. Quite literally, that's what the GBA plus does, gender-based analysis plus. It's like a study on every major energy project in this country. And what it does is amount to a prohibition by red tape and paperwork. And that's exactly the red tape that I was talking about there. And so Doug Ford can announce the Ring of Fire, but will you ever be able to get it past the environmental and feminist regulations that the Liberals have put in place? Have you ever heard Doug Ford complain about the environmental and feminist regulations the Liberals have put in place? He's not even going to try to do what we're doing here in Alberta. He won't even attempt it. And he's basically leaving projects akin to the oil sands in the ground just because of it.
And by the way, all that nonsensical red tape you mentioned, let's not forget, Sheila, during the election campaign just over, Pierre Poilievre at his rallies and pressers kept promising to gut that red tape, to basically, well, I probably wouldn't use the words drill, baby, drill, but that's what he was basically saying. And Doug Ford couldn't support Pierre Poilievre, and the vast majority of Canadians, well, at least in the seat count, agreed with the bait and switch tactics of Mark Carney. So I'm not sure when this honeymoon ends, Sheila, but when it does end, just remember in April of this year, you had a choice to bring in real change and you didn't. So it will be more of the same.
And the fact that we don't have real change, I pin it right on Doug Ford and all of his little helpers. You know exactly who you are. Okay, let's move ahead because things are continuing to get, I think they're going to get real bad in Ontario.
I think
this
so.
is where most of immigration continues to land. Mark Carney, he's going to cut immigration, he says, but he's going to do it by not counting immigrants the same way that he used to, or that we used to. So what he's going to do is undercount temporary foreign workers, by the way, which completely offset. If you got rid of the temporary foreign workers, it would alleviate some of the unemployment issues in the Greater Toronto area.
Yep.
But they're not going to do that. They're
No.
just going to play fast and loose with the numbers here. So nothing will be fixed. They're just going to fix it optically and hope the boomers that watch the CBC don't notice. So he said that he's going to cap the total number of temporary foreign workers and international students at 5%, less than 5% of Canada's total population by the end of 2027. Let's keep going.
Sheila, that is an outrageous number, by the way.
Yeah. 5% of the population of 40 million people.
We can't handle that.
We can not only can we not handle it, what do we even have temporary foreign workers for if we have an unemployment problem? And let's not kid ourselves, these are not skilled workers. This is a servant underclass. And I'm reliably informed that the left is against sort of this slave underclass. And yet, at the same time, their policies are enabling a slave underclass of temporary foreign workers. It's the most bizarre, grotesque thing. These are jobs that could be done by entry-level Canadian workers.
Yep.
These are stepping stone jobs. They're not people we need to bring in from the third world to do. They're just not. You know, we're not bringing in skilled workers to work on pipeline projects in our booming economy because we're short of welders and we can't graduate them fast enough. That's not what this is about. This is food service workers, which is a kid's job.
100%. And, you know, the other part of the equation, Sheila, as we've discussed before, is the international students. And I'm thinking particularly from India. And we have gone to, like, for example, the city of Brampton, there are more than 90 diploma mills, 90 in that one city. And it's a joke. You go to the website of the school, it looks like an Ivy League university like Harvard or Yale. You actually go to the university and it's a unit in a strip mall next to the fast food joint and the dollar store. And then a couple of doors down or in the storefronts above, immigration lawyers. So it's like one-stop shopping. A lot of these international student diploma mills, they're not even teaching anything. They're just empty shells. They mark you as taking a course and whatever. And then when you get your diploma, you go to the immigration lawyer. And to your point, Sheila, a lot of these jobs are going to those so-called international students, I call them, and that's displacing, like, for example, students or kids that would get summer jobs, you know.
Yep, completely. But Carney's not going to fix the problem. He's just going to change how it looks.
And how's this for a look that shows how dire things are, folks? To what I was just discussing. It's from 6Buzz TV. A man captures huge lineup for jobs at a Tim Hortons / Wendy's outlet. Like, Sheila, do you remember seeing that? I remember, like, back when the oil patch was booming, I remember Tim Hortons offering to pay their employees in Alberta like $20 an hour, which was...
it was like $18 to $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Because we had... functionally negative unemployment, right? They say like anything below like 2.5, 3 is negative unemployment. We were at that. And so it was like, and that was back when like our minimum wage was like $7, $8. And so that's what they were paying for entry-level food service workers because that's what the market could bear because we weren't flooded with, I guess, fake refugees, fake students, and temporary foreign workers. Like, that's crazy. That's for minimum wage jobs, but that's what 10% unemployment in Toronto will give you.
And I wonder who most of those people were in that lineup, Sheila. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But if I had seen it, I would have pulled over and, you know,
we should cover some of these job fairs. We should, I think we should, just to see who's standing in the crowd. And I don't mean culturally speaking, I mean immigration status wise. That's what I want to see. Are these existing Canadians, or are these people who are temporary foreign workers and students that are lining up when this could be Canadian high school students getting summer jobs?
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.